I got one
I'm
more question for you. This is like a psychology question.
sure.
Okay, so like, I do the YouTube and look at the videos and everything. And today is China going to bring the market down? So right away, you're going to get a bias to go short. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of puts the mindset, okay, the market's topping off, we're going to come down. So if I was trading right now with that mindset, I would not be making money because I would constantly be thinking of going short.
Oh, I
Dave,
gotcha.
You
I
know what
think,
I'm saying?
yeah,
yeah,
David,
I,
go.
I, I think, oh yeah, well,
That would
and, when they would chime in too, it just, with that in a sense, I'm not saying that news is bad. I honestly, I know that there's news out there, but um, I rarely overlook structure of the market to acknowledge what the news would do to the market, mainly because at the end of the day, it's the price action that determines the direction of the market and where it's going to go. It's the market structure that actually determines that. If you do it in a sense where you hold on to like news and you hold on to a bias in that of a direction, then you're gonna miss out on a bigger story. So like if you guys had saw like the market analysis for the London session, the whole breakdown is similar to yesterday's breakdown. If price can't go below 74, you're strongly bullish to the upside and you'll continue to try to touch the levels at the top because below 74 would pull price back down towards our next levels of support, which is going to come right around these 60s, 58s, and then below that 38, right? But if you have one whole session, this is why it's important to have your levels up, to have a market analysis, because the idea, like I was telling people in the London sessions prior, the idea of having the London session levels up is so you can understand when you step into the US session what has happened throughout the whole time frame of the London session. Because if this really wanted to go down, by the time you wake up to trade the US session, the market should be somewhere dipped below 74. The sellers would have pulled it that far down. If as you're slowly moving into the US session, price is still failing to grind lower past 80, then these buyers are still in control. And you might get some slight news that affects the market, but ideally at the end of the day, you want to pay attention to where the price action is at against your level, and then look to trade it based off of what it's doing at your levels. So it's key to mark clear levels of supports and resistance. That's why you use a bigger chart, because if you can identify the bigger picture, the context and everything, you can see what we mean. This would swap structure over here underneath this would actually swap this move. If it can fail here, would pull it right back down to another structured support here. And same thing underneath this level would then pull it back to structured support there. Because these uh these sellers couldn't pull it down any deeper, you can see how it's still, if you pay attention to all of this, if you veer away from the actual structure, this is a strong uptrend and it's doing what? What is it doing within all of this movement? Even after it pulled down to its low of 82, it's still creating all these lower highs in a bullish trend, right? So you can see higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. If you pay attention to this alone, it's enough for you to trade even past the news and the aggressive swings of what news could potentially, do. Because what happens is news ends up just pushing us in a direction that we usually always anticipate anyway based off of understanding structured levels. Sorry if that went on long, but yeah, I would think that structure is way more important than news. And you don't want to hold too much of a bias when you hear about potential news coming out. You just want to anticipate, okay, well, where are we at structurally? And what could this news do based off of where we are currently.